how do you actually connect the thing? Well, you see me do it, but I didn't exactly show how. You've got the usual SQLnet or JDBC connections. There shouldn't be any particular issue there. Apex is pre-configured, and Apex is of very great interest to those of us in skill builders. We spend a lot of time with Apex. So Apex is pre-configured. The whole of the ORDS layer, the Oracle RESTful Data Services, the web listening tier, is pre-configured. It's just set up automatically for every autonomous database you create. And that's a load of work saved. However, what they call the native web tier, the pre-configured one that's always available, you can't configure it. You cannot configure it. And is that a problem? Depends what you're trying to achieve. Now, if you are a developer working on his own, fine, that's going to be good enough. But if it's a production website, you will want your own digital certificates, you'll want your own vanity URLs. You can't do that with what they call the native web tier. You also have limited control specifically for Apex over patching. Is that a problem? I don't think so. And I follow the advice of our developers. You know, we patch our environments, and our developers say, this facility is good, we've checked it out, it looks safe, please put it on, and I trust them. With autonomous, you have limited control. Oracle is going to patch it for you, but you can delay the patch if you want. You can delay it for a few weeks. And that does give you the ability to test your applications. Maybe you just spin up another ADB, test your application, let that be patched immediately, test your applications in there. And so you do have a few weeks gap if you wish to apply it. So you can also attach through SQL Developer, the SQL Developer web interface. So let's see what that looks like. If I go to one of my ADBs, for example, that one, the tools, SQL Developer Web, Oracle Application Express. So for example, open Apex.
John, is there a link that you could share to what you're on now, to that resource?
What I can do is share the link to where you get started from to create an account and take it from there. I'll put it in the chat. That's your start. I think I may not send that to everybody, Dave, if you can send it on. But the link I've just put in takes you to the starting point for Autonomous, where you create your account and take it from there. And once you're there, you're then to this interface here. So there I am, straight into Apex. I'll give it the password. And at this point, there's never been a workspace created in this autonomous database. I can just create my workspace in the absolutely normal routine. My workspace might be JW Apex, the database user, password.
And can I mention one thing for this screen?
Please.
Yeah, so you just showed what I wanted to see. Just remember that if you are converting your Apex applications from like an on-premise and you want to test this out, please make sure that you find the workspace ID associated with the workspace on your on-premise workspace, and then you can copy that there right into that bottom field, and that'll just help make importing and just managing your applications a little bit easier.
Right. Thank you for that, Tyson. I think I clicked on the button twice there, I think. But anyway, get out of that. So, and from then you can create as many workspaces as you want. Another note on the workspace ID, workspace IDs have to be unique within a database. That's no longer true. Workspace IDs have to be unique within a pluggable container. So you don't need to worry about your workspace IDs conflicting with some other bloke who happens to be hosted by Oracle in the same CDB. So within the Apex environment, let me actually go back to my other database where I had some things already configured, which is the transaction processing database. I'm keeping an eye on the time, by the way. And in my tools here, Apex in this one. So I had to do no configuration at all to create this. This is that URL that I said you cannot have a vanity URL. You have no control over that whatsoever. And if I go to to the internal workspace, log on as user admin, password. And there you are, the absolute normal environment.
Can I mention one thing about vanity URLs real quick?
Please.
Yeah, so if that's a deal breaker for you, it is possible if you wish to take on the responsibility of having your own managed ORDs, you can do that. And in doing so, you should be able to have a vanity URL through that configuration. So if you want to get rid of or take on some extra responsibility to achieve that goal and manage ORDs yourself, you can, but then you're kind of missing out on some of the ease of configuration. Right?
Correct. You can take complete control over it, but then it's no longer a fully managed environment. Does that matter? Well, if you are a big important website, you'll want to take on that extra. So the other point for the tool, there's SQL Developer Web, and that gives you again the same interface, admin, and
Don, are these connections encrypted?
Absolutely. You can't stop the encryption even if you wanted to. Everything is encrypted on disk, and all connections have to be over secure sockets. As you can see right there, you simply cannot connect to an ADB without using secure sockets.